Hey guys, what is up? This is Mobile Tech 5000 here. Here's my iPad Air review. Let's get started. The iPad Air is called the Air because it is incredibly light and thin. Apple did an amazing job slimming down everything they could to get this iPad to 7.5 millimeters and 1 pound. The iPad Air also is a lot more narrow than previous iPads, coming in at 6.6 inches wide as opposed to 7.3 inches wide. The new form factor definitely makes the iPad Air much like the Mini. In fact, the iPad Air is basically a larger iPad Mini, spec for spec. The new form factor also makes it easier to use in one hand. It is also a lot more comfortable to type on this iPad because of how much thinner and narrower it is. The lightness of this iPad Air also makes long gaming sessions much more comfortable. The battery on the newest iPad is incredible, and I have been able to get a few days of light usage on a single charge, and I have had a very little problem getting through a whole day of heavy usage. One of the more subtle changes that Apple added to the iPad Air is that it now has dual stereo speakers, and this is a significant difference and makes music fill my room. I would say that the speakers on my iPad Air are almost as good as the ones on my 2011 MacBook Pro. That being said, Apple still opted to put them both in on the same side, so it's not a true stereo experience, and I have occasionally covered one or both of them while gaming or watching a video. The iPad Air has Apple's A7 chip with Motion coprocessor and allows this iPad to work perfectly with iOS 7. It handles gaming no problem, and I have not had any trouble with the performance of this iPad regardless of how many apps I have open. The iPad Air is running iOS 7, which by now I've gotten used to and have started to appreciate the different design and the few added features. iOS still has a considerably larger amount of optimized iPad apps than the Play Store in my opinion. The 5 megapixel camera on this iPad Air is not the best camera I've used, but it will do just fine for those moments where you have to use your tablet instead of your phone, and it'll do just fine for social media sharing. The front-facing Facetime camera is alright for Facetime calls and the occasional selfie. Overall, I think that the iPad Air has some welcome improvements over previous generations, and I would go as far as to say that it is the biggest improvement in the iPad lineup yet. I really love the new form factor and the speed they packed into the iPad Air, and think that it is definitely a worthy upgrade for anybody with an iPad 1, 2, or 3, and even your iPad 4 if it's feeling a little too heavy for you. If you do not currently have an iPad, I would definitely advise that you get the iPad Air, unless, of course, you need a device that is really portable, in which case I would get the iPad Mini. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Mobile Tech 5000 with my iPad Air review.